Hi everybody, we're gonna have to look into now the little squares in front of the rakusu. As you can see, for instance here, we've got a square which is about 1 centimeter into the frame of the rakusu and slightly overlapping the actual body of the center. And these 4 corners, as you may see them, are supposed to keep the silk, the lining and everything together. So this is the calligraphy of Jundo, and of course the thickness of the material is so important, so big that you cannot do a proper back stitch all through. It's too thick. So you do a back stitch, but it will not go through like this. And eventually what you have to do is to pretend it goes through, doing a bit of stitching around like that, to pretend that it went through at the back.
So it doesn't actually go through, you just pretend?
I mean occasionally it does, but because there are sometimes 8 or 9 layers of material, it's virtually impossible to go through a needle with it.
So you just make it look like it went through?
Exactly. Same idea with these diagonal lines that you have here, 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 and here.
Would you show that again, please?
Yes, this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here. These 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been done. If you remember when we did the actual N, the frame, we've been hiding the backing of them, so they don't show on the back. Look, there's nothing there. You can see the stitches, but there is nothing there. So what do? Well, it's fairly simple. You pretend, there again, that it goes through, doing just a simple stitch like this, like so, see, all along, and making sure every time, please, that it doesn't, your needle is not showing there, because if it is, the thread will be appearing on the front of the rakusu. Okay? So you do your stitch like this, pretending that these guys are actually the back of these ones. Okay? So that's what I wanted to show you. The next thing, I'm just going to give that up for the moment, I want to show you is how to fix the silk at the back of the rakusu. If it's a white silk, there's no issue about it, just put it and you just sew it. But if, like it's going to be the case, Jundo is going to send over the silk and you're going to have to fix it yourself, you've got to put the silk before you put the corners, okay? And make sure you put the silk in the right way. The reading should be like so. So not the silk shouldn't be this way, but really this way. And it should be at the back of the rakusu, and at the top of the rakusu, I remind everybody, is this centerpiece, which is short, long. Short, long. That is the top of the rakusu. And the top of the rakusu, short, long, in the middle, is the top of the silk. If I just turn around, top here is top there, short, long, centerpiece. Okay? Now, I have this needle just roughly put there. Anyway, what I want to show you is how to fix. You've got a little pocket there, and of course, if you want to see, the silk is there. Under the silk, there is a cotton, usually a cotton lining. Originally, this cotton lining is to actually absorb the ink of the teacher, because he's just doing. Most teachers would do it straight on the rakusu, but for practical reasons, we cannot do it this time. Jundo cannot do it. So the name of it gives substance to the rakusu. So please put a lining of cotton, whitish or clear color, and then you would have the silk to put on the top.
Can you show that a little bit?
It's here. You see, you've got the silk and the lining under. Okay, right. So you've got to make sure that this is just sewn all along without the stitchings to be showing. So in order to do so, I would reckon that you pick up a thread near, very close to the color of your rakusu. Not white, but just here it's a brown thread. And what you are going to do is a very simple procedure. And of course, I'm going to struggle putting that through. Anyway, you might find that there are some nice ways to put the thread through a needle. There's some nice little metallic things that you can use. Anyway, so what you do is just exactly the same. You can do a kaishibari, you can do a back stitch like that, like this, with much larger gaps, pulling really well on the knot to make the knot disappear into the fabric. I'm going to show how to do it. So I do my knot. As I've shown before, anywhere, anyhow, the needle in, I'm going to pull the knot inside, make it disappear. So I've got something sticking there, I just have to cut it slightly, and the knot is now under, and you see nothing shows. Alright? So what do? I do a kaishibari, but instead of making a knot, I just go right into where the stitch is. I go a fair distance just there, so you see much larger than this is small distance, okay, and you do a bigger one, making sure that your needle every time doesn't go through, because if you see it, you're going to see the stitch and it's not going to be beautiful on the front. And then you pull, and you really pull hard until virtually the stitch disappears. And if you do that all along, then your white silk shall be perfectly sewn to the back of the rakusu. One more thing to say, if you are using silk is a very kind of moving, very alive, very flexible. So you would need to put a lot of needles, and I would reckon that you need to put a thread through and prepare the work so it's really neat and clear and fine. And don't forget to iron every time, which is a key to a proper work in terms of sewing. So I repeat, put the silk in. There is a lining under. You sew all along with kaishibari large stitches with a thread of the color of your rakusu. Once that's done, you can start to put your four corners. Because of the thickness of the material, you cannot just go through perfectly, so you pretend that you doing a bit of touching up at the back.
So they will have to wait to put the south straps and the four corners until I have sent them, or they've received the
presumably, yes, to ease up the work.
They can't do it first and do it.
They could, but they would make it more complicated.
I see.
And then eventually, once you've done that bit of touching up, that sort of squarish shape on four corners, you just do that work to pretend again that line has gone through here. Okay? And then your central part is actually ready. What is left to be done now is to put the sao here, on this part here, to hang the rakusu around your neck. Alright? And we're going to do that in a while. Okay? Okay, bye bye, and see you soon. Hello everybody, it's now the evening. The beautiful sound of the rain, and now the wind. It's very peaceful. So, This is the final stage and it's been completed, but I'd like to show you what I've done. It's not that difficult. You had that part, that bit, the sao here, with the pine needle pointing on the left of you when you face it. This is the top of the rakusu, this is the bottom. Top because the centerpiece is short, bottom because it's long. And this is how the back, the maneki should be in relationship to the whole thing. Many people make the mistake of doing it this way. So it's not a big deal really if you make the mistake, but try not to. And what we've done is that we've sewn, again with back stitches, the two sao. But what we did is the superior sao goes inside and the inferior sao goes outside. Outside the rakusu goes, as you see, the inferior, the under sao, and the up sao goes inside. Same on the other side. These flaps are part of it, this is the sao itself. You know that the end, the frame, is 4 centimeters large. And the same, you just put the sao 4 centimeters from just into the rakusu. And the sewing here you do is the backstitch sewing. And it shows on the back. If you look at the rakusu here, if you look here, you've got the sewing of the sao here and there, running through. The problem is that often, because the rakusu is worn and it gets in the way, sometimes gets caught in various situations, sometimes with the arm or whatever, this is a bit weak. So what we do, we reinforce the 3 weak points here with 3 stitches, very simple stitches. Look at them. All right.
Where are the 3?
1, 2, 3.
And they're just.
So what are they?
Stitching.
What are they? It's just you just go round and round and round, going through the fabric, making a kind of bridge here, there, and there. Because sometimes, well, it stretches a bit, and the fabric gets weak there, so it helps the sao to stay in place. But with use and time, often you have to mend, repair, and sometimes change the sao, because, well, that's it, everything is impermanent, nothing lasts. So this is the final rakusu. I want to show you how to fold the rakusu. There are 2 ways. The traditional way is you do not fold the rakusu with the calligraphy inside, but you do it outside. And to do this, you turn the sao this way, and you take the 2 sides this way, with the left side of the calligraphy on facing you, and you just let the sao down and there. And then you just have to fold it this way. So that's how you do it. I repeat the gestures, very simple. If it's around your neck, it's like that. You take it off, you turn it round, you clip it with your 2 fingers, you make sure that these 2 sides are aligned, and you do this gesture, and then you fold it, and that goes into a bag. If you are afraid of soiling or making the silk dirty, you can do exactly the same procedure, but this time doing it this way, which is protecting the actual silk. Some people will do it with some precious rakusu they want to keep for some time. Right, I want to show you today another rakusu made in Sawaki style, Nyoho-e. Sawaki Roshi, Sawaki Kodo, the teacher, the great teacher, well-known teacher in the West, and in Japan too, had a student that could not sit. And the student asked, what can I do? And he said, okay, well, you can sew. I need rakusus. So all his life, what he did, he's been sewing. And I've seen a few of those, because Nichijima Roshi had a few. And that's what he used to give the precepts and jukai to his students. And this is the rakusu of Jundo Koen, that Jundo received from his teacher, Nichijima. So I would like you to have a look, close look at the kaishibari, at the back stitch, because by far this is not regular. This is even erratic, and this is so beautiful. This is made by presumably an old man, just cruising along, doing one rakusu after the next. So you see, you don't have to strive for perfection, because this is perfection. This is as it is. That's it. There's no need to be the top sewer in the world, all right? So you would see that the size of the rakusu, it's slightly smaller. Why is that? Because in order to do that rakusu, the measurement bu was used, and when you translate it into centimeter, it gets a bit bigger. First reason. The second reason is that we are bigger guys in the West, so we need bigger rakusu. So generally in the Sangha, particularly in Europe, we have larger rakusus, just about that size. In America they get a bit smaller sometimes, but well, it's due to the difference between the two schools, Sawaski school and the other school, which is great too. Anyway, what I'd like you to show you now is the back of the rakusu. The back of the rakusu, here you've got the writing a poem. This is the Sutra of the Kesa. You've got the date, you've got the name of the teacher, and you've got the name of the student. And the reason why, and that's why I would like to point out, you fold it this way, it's to hide the name of the student. So it's not shown. That's it. So the Sutra of the Kesa is what we recite when we put the Kesa or the rakusu on. And what we generally do, I'll show you. What we generally do is that we put the Kesa or the rakusu on top of our head, and we sing this sutra, which I'm going to sing now for you. So I'm folding it in the traditional way, and I'm putting it with the seal on the corner. There should be a seal on the right corner on the top. And there I go. And then you just, it's what I do. I mean, you might just do what you want, but I like to kiss it once or sometimes twice with the 3 jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and I just put it on, and then I just sit. Where to put the rakusu? In a bag. Where to take it? Everywhere you go. Where to wear it? Where you find it's good to wear it. If you want to sit with it, of course, that's the time and the moment to wear the rakusu. But you might also just take it on a trip if you are hiking in a... Do not use the rakusu as something to show other people, something special. Just use it as a reminder of your dedication and sincerity to the path. That's very... You should always place it on a very high place. Do not, as I do sometimes, leave it on the ground. Please make a sort of shelf and put it there. Sometimes you might burn incense and just wave it on the top. Do not be too attached to it. Understand that this is the garment of Buddha, this is the body of Buddha, but also this is an invitation to look at the reality, at the fabric of reality, as the true kesa. The true kesa is this. Enjoy your life. Thank you.